God Hates Geeks is here with Michael Beihn and Jennifer Blanc-Beign.
Wow, you guys are getting it. The Texans are getting it right.
Yeah. How?
A lot of people say Jennifer Blanc because of Mel Blanc, who was Bugs Bunny.
Mm-hmm.
So they think that's because it's the same spelling, but it's Jennifer Blanc-Beign or Jennifer Blanc.
There's a lot of those characters.
Yeah. Bugs Bunny was just the first one.
Okay, so you're here at Comicpalooza. You're here both for Aliens and for y'all's new movie, Hidden in the Woods. Yes. I read the description of the movie. That sounds just insanely interesting. You want to talk about that for a bit?
It's brutal, but it's not as brutal as the original.
Well, I kind of like originally when I saw the movie at a film festival. I saw a movie called Hidden in the Woods at a film festival, and it was directed by a kid.
Patricio Valadares, who's Chilean.
He's from Chile, and it was subtitled, and there were parts of it, that were a little bit dark for me. I'm not like really into that whole Saw type of, mentality as far as the films go. That seems like that's kind of past anyway. But for a while, there was a little bit too much of that in the movie for me. But you could tell that the filmmaker himself was. I thought he was brilliant. I thought and so I started talking to him, and we got talking, and I had done a little grindhouse movie called The Victim, and it turned out really well for us. We got distribution, and we were really happy with it, and Jennifer's really the company, but we decided we were going to continue to make low budget movies and
give people opportunities.
Give people opportunities, kind of Roger Corman-like, young people come with an idea. Okay, well, you got 12 days, you've got, this amount of a budget for each department, and, go do your thing, And so, anyway, I saw this movie, and I thought, well, let's remake it, and let's remake it in English, and that way people, at least in America, will watch it, because I just know it's hard to watch subtitled stuff, especially when it's late. Even myself, it's like late, and do I want to watch something that I have to read, And so we redid it, and we got William Forsythe. We got Robert Sneese.
Electra Avalon.
We got a lot of good people.
Great cast.
Mm-hmm. Chris Browning, Andy McKenzie, Rico Ross from Aliens. Michael's in it. I'm in it. Richard Gunn and I play partners, and we were both on Dark Angel together. So there are some little kitschy things throughout. And Janine Kaspar is amazing as the lead girl. It's just. Very good.
We reshot.
Tony's in it too.
Actually.
He's producer, but he's in it.
We shot it here, actually.
Really?
Yeah. It turned out not to be the best location for me because what I really wanted was kind of a border.
You wanted
town.
it grittier, even.
I wanted it border poor town, and I don't know where that is, but. There were too many big trucks driving around in the background of this movie.
He's obsessed. To me, when I still watch it, and you can see if you make it to the sneak peek tomorrow night or whatever, or when it comes out. To me, it still looks. They certainly don't look rich to me, but I don't think when you see the Chilean film, it's way grittier. They were in the middle of nowhere, and I think that's what Michael was looking for, and we got pieces of that. But this is Houston, and there's big trucks.
So we did that. We found some financing, and Jennifer really has put this company, kind of like on the mini map of like movies and distribution. We've gotten a lot of films made.
We have a lot of milestones to hit, but we've hit a lot of them.
A lot of distribution on the films that we've made. So we have how many with distribution?
We just announced 3 new ones. We have 3 that are already out. We've even got the DVDs. I have them at Comicpalooza. 3 are just coming out. Mm-hmm. Just got distribution. Another one we haven't even announced with distribution. We've got one that we're even sneak peeking here that's still in post that Angus McFadden from Turn and Braveheart wrote and stars in. So we have all different stages of them, but I mean we have at least 6 to 8 of them with distro so far, and more in post and prep. So,
Wow, that's fantastic.
yeah.
And we would have had a lot more, except for Jennifer decided to get
I
pregnant.
just had our son.
And
Congratulations.
she had a
Boy.
son, and he's a year old,
Yeah,
so
and
that
he's fantastic.
slowed things down a little bit.
Yeah, and I've had to
She's the
take a break
engine.
from my acting and the company to, be a mommy for a minute, and now I'm a mommy and going back to work slowly.
Right.
Wow.
Mommying's amazing though.
Yeah.
Michael, this is you're here for the 30th anniversary of Aliens.
Yes.
When you think about that, like the movies you've been in, the longevity of them. I mean, it's not like it's a flash in the pan. These are movies that people love, still love, and when they say, "Oh, we're remaking," I'm like, "No, leave that alone. That's great." How does that make you feel as someone who's now a part of that fabric?
I've only really started to appreciate the movies and the performances that I've had in those movies and the way that they have affected people and how much enjoyment people have gotten from those movies since I started screening our little films at these Comic-Cons,
Really start to
and
feel it.
started really getting, in where I'm talking to fans. I mean, when you're a movie maker, you
have
don't
to
really
interact.
talk to fans very often, you don't, and it's pretty wonderful. I mean, I kind of feel now like I could retire, and
See his
feel
face,
like
he doesn't
I've been
want
in
to retire.
3 or 4 of the best films that were made, in the last 30 years, and also not only be in those films, but give what I consider pretty good performances in those movies. And I feel very lucky that I hooked up with Jim Cameron, and that of course was like, that was
Really
fantastic.
good
But I got to work with Billy Friedkin, who is a brilliant filmmaker, who I think has made the scariest movie ever.
Yes.
The
The Exorcist.
Exorcist, of course, the scariest movie ever. And I've got to work with Robert Rodriguez, Quentin Tarantino, Michael Bay, all these great people. And
And
I don't know,
Xavier Gen's even you're going to
it's-
hear about him
I
in the
mean,
next few years.
the movies were like
Fantastic.
30 years ago, so I guess it's kind of surprising. But I mean, I have children that are like this big that'll come up to me and say like Johnny Ringo's my favorite character in all the movies, or Aliens is my favorite movie. And I'm like, come on, Captain America? No, Aliens, and like kids who are 8, 10 years old, whose parents let them watch Aliens, and they love Hicks, and it's like, it's kind of like I'm, kind of starting to realize that, like, I did okay with my life and my career, as far as acting, because you're always struggling.
Right.
Go ahead.
I have to ask this though, because there's been no rumors. The next Aliens, are you coming back as Hicks? There's a fan art.
If Neil Blomkamp, Neil Blomkamp and Sigourney get to make their movie, yes, absolutely. And what will happen is that they will bring back Newt also. Newt will be 26, 27. They'll get some great actress for, wonderful actress for that. But right now, Ridley Scott
Has to
is
make
doing
his.
Aliens, The Covenant, or something like that.
So if this proceeds, if
So
this continues,
from
then
what, if you dig deep enough into Ridley's
interviews or
interviews and so on and so forth, you get the feeling that he's going to do his, and once he's finished with his, then he's going to they're gonna let Neil do his, because
And Neil had to change a few things to compromise that.
And
Make sure
Neil's
that-
got the one that Sigourney really wants to finish up with. And I think there'll be kind of a passing of the torch between. That's my guess, you know, I haven't even seen the script, to tell you the truth. I've talked to Neil, and they were moving ahead with it, and then Ridley decided, I think, that he wanted to get get his in there first. And so if they make Neil's, and they should, because he's a brilliant filmmaker, and I think they owe it to Sigourney, and they've already announced they're going to make it, so I think it'd be a true embarrassment to Fox if they'd never made the movie. I'll be in it.
Fantastic. That's how I want to end the interview. Yes.
Hi, I'm Michael Beihn, and this is my
Jennifer Blanc-Beign. And for movie news, go to GodHatesGeeks.com.